Hey guys, and welcome back to day 8 of 31 Days of Tarot created by the lovely Ethony. Today is top 5 decks on my wish list. Now, I did recently do a Christmas wish list, so I'm sorry for the ones that are repeated for people. I will be keeping it quite concise due to that. And I'll show you pictures of the decks really quickly that I'm speaking about. I did, however, miss one on my Christmas list, so there's something new in there. The first deck is the Considerate Cat Tarot, and you already know I'm a crazy cat lady. I love my cat decks. For those who didn't see my previous video or haven't heard of this deck was created reflecting many different rescue cats all over, and the creator not only fosters cats but she also donates some proceeds to the rescue centres. So all in all, it's a really beautiful project that came to fruition through Kickstarter, and I simply didn't have the money to back it. It's a Canadian made deck. It's very pastel, as you can see, really quite beautiful, and it feels a little bit more pippish than some of the other cat decks that I either own or have seen. So that is a big yes from me. Next is the Spirit Animal Oracle, and I'll be putting the creators' names in the bar below, as you can see, so that I don't pronounce anyone's name wrong. As you know, I work with animal medicine on a daily basis, and the reason that this particular animal deck really struck me was not only the artwork, but also I was intrigued because I follow the creator of the deck, and she has worked with shamanism for what I believe to be almost all of her life, and works with animal medicine heavily, and I just feel like it's a deck about animal medicine from someone that I would want to hear more about, you know, her takes on animal medicine and see what that added to my arsenal. I don't actually believe it's available at the moment until later in the year, but it is another stunning deck. Next on my list is the gorgeous and newly released Brady Tarot, and there are many reasons other than it being an animal deck that I want this deck, but of course it being an animal deck has massive appeal to me. Some of the other things are, I love how it was originally created from lino cuts. I just think that the work and the time and the type of way that these pictures were created is really fascinating to me in terms of artwork, even separate from tarot. And I love how it's brought the decks together, that all of the plants and all of the animals are from North America, and so it kind of builds that part of the world into the deck for you. Then there's the fact that Rachel Pollock wrote the guidebook, and I would be really keen to read it, to hear the insight of the animals, why they were chosen, and also explore some of those very unique and original keywords that I don't believe I've seen some of them on any other tarot decks, and that in itself really intrigues me. So it's definitely earned a place on my wish list. Next is the gorgeous Supra Oracle. So as you can see, there's kind of a theme. I do think that all of these decks are beautiful, otherwise I probably wouldn't want them. And then there's the fact that it is somewhat based on Jungian psychology, and if you watched my books, or you know what I do, or you know what I'm interested in from, you know, Instagram or other videos, then you'll know that that has massive appeal to me. I am loving seeing these things brought into tarot and oracle. I love the keywords, the hidden and the self, I believe is what we're looking at here. I just think that it would be a very welcome deck in my collection. It would get a lot of use. This one is one where the book is sold separately, and whilst I often don't feel the books are a necessity, I would certainly like the book as well with this one, just so that I can see their thoughts. And as far as I understand, there are several cards that don't have keywords on where the book can then come in handy. But yes, definitely on my wish list. And finally, last but not least, is the lovely Dark Days Tarot. And if you watched my previous wish list video, you'll know that I find the pictures really kind of evocative. They leave me feeling creative, and I just love what I've seen so far. I do tarot poetry, that's a big part of my practice, and I definitely could see myself doing it with this deck. This makes me want to write poetry about the cards. It's something that, as I say, I share a lot on Instagram, and this deck would be amazing for that. Also, I really love black and white artwork, but I've not really been too drawn to many black and white decks that I've seen so far, whereas this one, I think it's done beautifully. And I love that the majors are the reversal to the minors, so that you can see from the coloration which is which. Also, I'd be really intrigued to work with the 4 directions, because I don't have a square tarot deck, and that could be something new that I could incorporate into my tarot workings. And that's my 5 decks. 3 tarot, 2 oracle. Really easy for me to pick. My wish list actually isn't as big as it used to be. I feel a lot more picky and like I have a better understanding of what works for me. I can't wait to see everyone else's, because it doesn't give me the urge to buy it. I just love hearing the reasons behind what entices people to get decks and add them to their wish list. So it's something that I find quite fun, and I'm glad it still goes on in the tarot community amongst all of the more depthy explorations and things that we do on here. Thank you again for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you again tomorrow.